we have a leaky relief valve, a boiler leak that has just been consistently dripping and filling up their bucket. So there's three things that could cause this to happen. Generally, it's a bad relief valve. If they're really old, they won't, especially if they've been leaking or the boiler's pressure has been getting too high. If it cannot seat properly inside, then these will go bad and just keep continually leaking. But I would say the first thing when you see this is you want to look at the boiler water pressure and the temperature. So when I got here, the water pressure was at 20 psi, which is pretty high. It should be between about 12 and 15. So I went to their air tank to see if it was full of water. And so I closed it off from the system. There's the shut-off valve. I turned off the power to the boiler. And then hooked up this hose they had. Set up my bucket. And so far, I've already drained out a 5-gallon bucket and almost a second one. This can take quite a while, so you do have to be patient with draining these air tanks. But if they do have this little valve on the back, or this is for air, so that you can drain the tank much quicker. So you just unscrew this, pull it out, and it'll continue to drain. Otherwise, the air has to come back through this hose, and it'll take a long time. So you'll probably get a gush of water, nothing. It'll suck air back into the tank, and then it'll continue to run. So when you don't have this for air, a lot of times I'll crack the hose right here, and that'll help the air transfer. So I have finished draining the expansion, or not the expansion tank, but the air tank. We got 2 5-gallon buckets full, and that. It doesn't always mean that the boiler's pressure was too high or that the automatic fill or the fast fill, in this case right here, this is what fills the boiler with pressure, 12 to 15 psi. If these go bad, oftentimes they will continue to just slowly fill the boiler with pressure, and it won't stop. So the relief valve will go off, the tank will fill. Just because a tank is full doesn't always mean this is bad, but in this case I am going to replace it just to be sure. The customer also is pretty sure he emptied it recently, so to be on the safe side, we're going to replace the fast fill, and hopefully that fixes his issue. Normally I would also replace this relief valve, but we just did that about a year ago, so we're pretty sure that's not the problem in this case. So I'm going to show you how to replace that fast fill, and he should be good to go. Okay, so replacing this valve, we're going to shut off both sides. We don't always have the luxury of having a shutoff on either side of the fast fill, so you may need to drain some of the boiler. There could be a lot of different scenarios, but here we have 2 shutoffs. The union, the power is still off, and now we're going to break this union loose. I took these 2 pipe wrenches, broke this loose. Okay, we'll get a little bit of water here. Now I'm going to unthread the fast fill from this copper threads here. So I'm going to spin this while I hold this steady, probably with an adjustable wrench, channel locks, whatever you want to use to hold this steady, but you don't want to twist the copper piping while you unthread the fast fill. I've now broken it loose, so I'm just going to pull this totally out. In order to spin it past, I did have to take the center screw out. that was in there. And I will be replacing this with a slightly different fast fill. This is a Taco, which looks like this, which will work as the replacement here. A little bit of water. Something you want to pay attention to here before you take it apart and put the new one on is the direction of flow for the water. So in this case, the inlet is here and very clogged. The outlet is the side with the union, and that is the side pointing down. So we're going to make sure that the new valve, the arrow pointing down, that the union is on this side. If you can see, it's also very dirty, so before I put this back in, I'm going to clean this out. There we go. Now we're going to take this side. Be careful with the... Now this piece is going to thread into the upper piece of our piping. It's going to thread right there. I have this on, but the last thing you want to do, if possible, before you put the new fast fill in, is let water run through the pipe to help clean it out. So a lot of times there is junk left over in the pipe, and you don't want that to clog up your brand new fast fill. We're gonna see, and that looks clean, but you always want to just double check. Our unions are now together. We're just going to tighten these up with my pipe wrenches, and then we'll open the valves and make sure it holds pressure and see if we have any water leaks. I'm now going to open the water line and see if we have any leaks. Before you do that, make sure that this tab is in the position all the way to the right, where it has the ability to stop at 12 to 15 psi. If it's over here, that is the override position. You want to make sure this is there. It's all up and running now. I've got the power back on. Fast fill, all the water's turned on. The tank is hooked up and connected. I did reopen this valve, which is important to remember. And I have no water leaks. I did have a couple. I had one water leak on this valve, and I had to tighten this nut just a little bit to get that to stop. And then on this valve, I had a small water leak right there. So I had to tighten this, and it stopped. So you do want to keep an eye out for different water leaks that can happen when you mess with old valves. But our fast fill is good. Our pressure is right at about 15, 16. Looks great. Thanks for watching.